What's up guys, PhazonFlux here with another episode of Let's Play Pokémon FireRed. In the last episode, we fully explored Lavender Town to the east. In today's episode, we will start things off by getting through Route 8. And I'm gonna go ahead and show off the wild Pokemon you can get here, but it requires cut as you can see. So without further ado, we have Growlithe. A pure fire-type Pokemon with two possible abilities, either Flash Fire or Intimidate, both of which are pretty amazing abilities. Now, when Growlithe is fully evolved into an Arcanine, it has amazing physical and special attack, really great speed, and decent defenses. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with Arcanine as a whole. It doesn't completely stand out in one certain area, but it's overall good in many different areas. Since my team is indeed lacking a fire-type Pokemon, and it's pretty good all around, plus the fact that I like Arcanine a lot, this makes Growlithe our fourth team member. Alright, it's going to take a little training to get her up to about level, I don't know, 30 or so. But I think it'll be worth it. So, let's see what the nickname's gonna be. The only dog champion that I can think of off the top of my head, and that's gonna be Nasus. Alright, now that we have a new member on our team, we are fully ready to start taking down these trainers. Now, the interesting thing to note here is that every single one of these trainers on this route is skippable, except one of these two. You have your choice of fighting these two trainers, and after that, you can just skip them. Because as you can see, even though there's a bunch of trainers on this route, they're all placed in such awkward positions where you don't have to fight them. And therefore, I will be fighting them off screen. However, there is an interesting battle here. This is our introduction to double battles, where basically both sides throw out two Pokemon, and this definitely opens things up to strategy. There's a bunch of cool combos you can pull off with double battles. However, a good general strategy is to take down one of the enemies at once, so that it's essentially 2v1. Also, certain moves can hit both Pokemon at the same time. As you can see with Maokai's Razor Leaf there, it hit both Jigglypuff and Clefairy simultaneously, whereas Nasus's Ember only hit one of them. Another thing you should notice is Nasus had a sex change. And the reason for that is just like the reason for Xerath's sex change earlier in the Let's Play. That's because the Nasus that I had shown catching actually wasn't the right nature, and because it's Nasus, I wanted it to be a male Growlithe, so I just off-screen catching another Growlithe that fits both of those requirements. But we used our twin power. Well, I'm sorry little ladies, twin power just wasn't enough to cut it. So, as I mentioned, I will be fighting these guys off-screen, but first, we haven't checked our map in a while. We need to make sure we know where we're going. So even though we're a guy, we do need to stop and ask for directions every once in a while. Now, just to the left of us is Saffron City, and just like before, when we were going from Cerulean to Vermilion, Saffron City is closed off, and if you don't believe me, I will show you right now that there's another guardhouse, and the guard will still say that the road's closed. So, just like before, there is an underground path that we can take that will take us to the very next city. So, how's the weather? Good, good. But yeah, so this path is very long, just trying to make some small talk there. I heard a sleepy Pokemon appeared out near Celadon too. Great, we got another one of those guys to deal with. Now, immediately upon exiting, and you come to the right, there's a Wepair berry. Wepair, however you pronounce it. And this is technically a new route, and the wild Pokemon are the exact same, just the percentage of catching them are slightly off. But here we go, guys. We have arrived in Celadon City, and the first site we see is Team Rocket. That's just great. Now, Celadon City is the largest city in this game, and it has a lot of really cool stuff to go through. So I apologize in advance for this video being a bit boring, but I figure I'm going to take this episode to go over all the stuff that you can find here and take down some actual battles and stuff next episode. So here is a giant department store that has a bunch of different floors, and each floor has a bunch of different stuff you can buy. For example, here on the second floor, you can buy TMs, which are pretty nice. This guy here will be like a normal Pokemart, so like Super Potions, Great Balls, Repels, stuff like that. Third floor doesn't have anything to buy. However, this guy here at the counter will, punningly enough, teach you the move Counter, which is a kind of a gimmicky move. I don't like it, but basically it makes your Pokemon go second, and if it took physical damage that turn, it will inflict double that damage back on the enemy. So it can be very situational, and it can turn out alright. However, as I mentioned, I don't like it. So on the fourth floor here, this guy will sell stones, and these are evolutionary stones, and certain Pokemon require stones to reach their final stage. In fact, I currently have 2 members in my team that will require stones, so I figured to go ahead and stock up, but I'm not going to use them just yet, but we'll use them in the very near future. Fifth floor here has vitamins. And as I mentioned previously, vitamins do increase the happiness of your Pokemon. However, that is far from their main purpose. They will actually increase the stats of your Pokemon, so they act as supplements to EV training, as they don't directly increase the stats of your Pokemon, they simply increase the amount of EVs that Pokemon has in that particular stat. And finally, on the very roof of this place is a vending machine, where you can buy fresh water, oops, chose it twice, soda pop, or lemonade. Now, this is the point in the game where you stop buying super potions because it's just not worth it. Basically, fresh water restores 50 HP from your Pokemon as well, and as you can see from the price, it is much cheaper. So, I'm going to off-screen stocking up on a bunch of these goodies. Alright guys, now that I've stocked up with some goodies, I think I'm going to meet you at the very bottom. Alright, next up on our list of things to explore is the Celadon Mansion. It's a huge condominium, essentially, with a couple goodies in it for us. On the very first floor, if this fairy gets out of my way, I can talk to this nice old woman. She will give us some tea for absolutely free. And if you notice in your bag, this tea is actually a key item, so it's required for the game. And it cures all forms of thirst, apparently. It's like super tea. So I can think of a couple people who could use that. But here on the third floor is the game designers. I always find it funny that in every Pokemon game, they put themselves in to the game by programming themselves in. It's always kind of clever when they do that. Other than that, there's not really much else here yet. Even though we come up to the roof, we see there's another room blocked off. So how are we going to get there, you say? Well, I'll meet you at the bottom and we'll find out. Yeah, here we are. And it turns out, if you go behind the Pokemon Center, you can access a path that will bring us to the back of the mansion. Living here at this mansion would be a great exercise. Those steps are killer for the legs. Anyways, here we go in this room. There's nothing I don't know, like I wrote on the blackboard. I know about the world of Pokemon in your Game Boy Advance. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. I'm a Pokemon trainer in the Kanto region. What are you talking about? A Game Boy Advance? Is that some sort of video game? Alright, anyways, here we have an item. Right? Wrong. This is actually a Pokemon. And, more specifically, the 5th member of our team. That's right, guys. We obtained an Eevee. And a free item from Meowth. Good job. But this Eevee is very iconic. Most people know what an Eevee is, even if they've never played Pokemon. It's very versatile in terms of evolution. There are 5 possible evolutions for Eevee in 3rd gen, only 3 of which are available to us at this point in the game, and I will go over them now. Alright, first up guys, utilizing an evolutionary stone of fire, you can evolve your Eevee into a Flareon, which is a pure fire type Pokemon that has outstanding physical attack. However, none of its other stats are really that good. And since Flareon is a pure fire type and has a really bad move pool, it's not really that great. So I would definitely pass on Flareon, and this is, spoilers, not what our Eevee will actually become. Next up, utilizing the Thunderstone, is Jolteon, which is a pure electric type Pokemon that has outstanding speed and very good special attack. It makes an excellent electric type Pokemon, in my opinion, perhaps even better than Raichu. However, I, again, will not be using Jolteon in this Let's Play. That will be reserved for the following Pokemon. Last and surely not least is the pure water type Vaporeon. It uses a water stone to evolve, and Vaporeon has amazing HP, decent special defense, and really great special attack. Overall, it's a great tanky Pokemon, and it can actually hit incredibly hard given the fact that its role is a tank. So this will be the version of Eevee that we will get. However, I'm going to leave it as an Eevee at least for a short while, just to kind of get attached to the little bugger. Alright guys, I hope that was insightful, but at the same time, I hope it didn't take up too much time. Continuing on the path here to the left, we can obtain a free ether. And, I mean, I gotta say guys, check out our team. It is really shaping up. We got fire, soon to be water, grass, poison, ground, electric. I think it's shaping up to be a really solid team. So I leveled up Nasus and Nami just a tiny bit off screen, but there's still plenty to explore here in Celadon City. So entering this diner here near the bottom, in the corner here is a guy who said he won't be gambling anymore because he lost everything he had. So he gives us his coin case so that now we have access to the game corner. So let's see what this Team Rocket grunt has to say. What are you staring at? Get lost or I'll punch you. Wow, he's not very nice, but then again he is Team Rocket, so I guess that's to be expected. The slot's just reeling the dough big time. Don't touch the poster at the game corner. There's no secret switch behind it. Duh. No one puts secret switches behind posters, dude. Not sure why he said that. Anyways, Chief, we just shipped 2,000 more Pokemon at slot prizes again today. So, it seems like Team Rocket is in charge of the game corner. Rocket Game Corner, the playground for grown-ups. Well, yeah, I guess that pretty much says it is. So, starting in the next episode, we will take a look at this shady game corner and see what it has to offer. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a blessed day, and see you next time.